Hello fellow YouTubers, and today I'm looking at the new operation that's landed in 14.7.1, Pacific Offensive. Yes, you can get offensive in the Pacific. It's quite a fun operation. It involves Commonwealth, French and American ships. You're looking after the San Diego. Okay, she's in the middle of the map, or the fleet even. Get that right. You can see she's at I2. And what we're doing is keeping us safe while we go around doing various objectives, which will appear in the top left corner of your screen. You see neutralize the coastal battery on the first island. And you can see that target at E3. There's a battery there that needs neutralizing. There it is. Ensure at least one allied ship remains within 6 kilometers of San Diego. You really want to stay as a fleet for this mission. You don't want to split up and get too far away. No more than 10 kilometers from the San Diego is my advice. If you find yourself drifting further away and further away, you might get isolated and destroyed by the bots. So you want to stay close to the San Diego. Ensure your team uses coordinated fleet support a certain number of times. That's, if you look at the bottom bar, you can see number 9 right at the end. You want to pump that and press it every time you get an opportunity to do so, because getting 25 of those off in the 14 or so minutes this mission allots to getting the objective done is a pretty tough ask. You're hoping that all your teammates are going to be thumping that button when they see it come up, because if you don't, you're going to lose a star. You won't get the star for it. Okay, you also need to ensure that these little beggars, these destroyers, don't come within 3 kilometers of a San Diego. So it's very important to thin out the destroyers and get rid of them as soon as you see them. If they get within 3 kilometers, then you lose a star. So to get 5 stars in this mission, you really do have your work set out for you, but it's not too difficult. As long as you stay as a fleet, it's not too hard. I mean, we've got an aircraft carrier assisting us in this mission. We've got a Lexington, and he's going to be lighting targets for us with his planes. So bringing a carrier is not a terrible idea. Also, good battleships for this mission: Tennessee, Kearsarge, Iowa, Massachusetts B. You get the general idea. But I really need to get rid of this little beggar. I'm going to put those there in case. See if we can get the Shinomi down. As you can see, we've got a Congo coming in towards us. And you're constantly dealing with bot ships that come in from all sorts of different angles at you. Currently, we've got a hold position until the San Diego approaches the island. You see that updated as soon as we got rid of the shore installation. Constantly keep an eye on that top left corner. Flick your eyes over it from time to time, because the mission objectives update and change. Right now, we need to get the San Diego to E3 and in one piece. And you can see he's up there being protected by one of our cruisers, and there's a Hatsuharu encroaching towards him. If that gets within 3 kilometers, we're going to fail the ensure enemy destroyers keep distance mission, but I'm sure our teammates have got that under control, right? Once he gets to the objective, it's not so important, but it is important to try and keep the destroyers away from the San Diego wherever possible. There we go. Phew, that was a close one. And what would have happened there? We'd have lost a star, because it's one of the secondary tasks. If we fail any of the secondary tasks, they're each worth 1 star, and you can get a total of 5 stars for your operation progression towards the San Diego, which is of course the final prize. So stars mean prizes, gentlemen and ladies. Stars mean prizes. Okay, so we've got these 2 coastal gun installations over here. You can see these objectives have updated again. Neutralize the coastal battery on the second island. And it's talking about the island at E7. And you can see there's 2 coastal gun installations that need knocking out super quick. Of course, we're constantly having to deal with the destroyers. Do prioritize those, because if they get within 3 kilometers of San Diego, you're going to lose a star. Some Yoko. That's going to make things interesting. Okay, so that's those done. Primary task completed. And that's just going to keep updating. Okay, hold position until San Diego approaches the island. As you can see, The marker for that is at E7 on the mini-map. So check bottom right, E7, and that's where the San Diego's going next. And it's very important to keep her alive. You can see our battleships are not keeping up with the San Diego particularly well. Specifically our Tennessee needs to pick up the pace. But then the Tennessee is dog slow, so I can forgive that. Okay, let's see if we can get this AOBA down. Lots of black flags, please. Oh yes, yes, yes. We like citadels. We like citadels. The Bayard is actually a very good choice for this operation. She's a premium ship. You get lots of bonuses for using her. Because she's a premium ship, you're going to get more credits, more XP, and you can also grind out the dockyard missions for the Laffy while you're doing these operations, which is very useful indeed. So you can certainly get the cruiser one done very quickly doing these operations back to back. Okay, let's see if we can get the mayor. Okay. San Diego is basically... I'm on point at the moment, so I'm going to be taking a few for the team. I'd rather a battleship took this position, to be brutally honest, but it is what it is. I think the Georgia is a pretty fast battleship, so she could have taken this position, but let's put our softest ship on point. Yes, yes, that's the only issue I've got with the Bayard, really. She is a bit soft, and she gets no heals. Okay, so bear that in mind. Buffalo's a good choice, especially since she was recently buffed Buffalo. That never gets old. Until it does. And then of course we've got the let me see, the Valeggio. Interesting choice. I'm going to see if we can get this ammonia down. Another good choice is the Seattle. She's a nice little radar cruiser, lots of gun on her, and she's definitely got the DPM for this mission. So another good choice for getting this done. You can pick the Commonwealth cruisers. The only issue I've got with the Commonwealth cruisers, if I'm honest, is basically bottom line with the Commonwealth cruisers, the crawling smoke. You're going to have to slow down to quarter speed to use the crawling smoke. Now that means using it on the objectives really, because if you use it in between, you're going to basically end up behind the fleet, isolated, and eventually, inevitably, you're going to get bot attacked, and chances are you're not going to survive the mission. So, intelligent play required if you're using Commonwealth cruisers. Okay, don't go quarter speed when you need to be within 10 kilometers of the San Diego. If it looks like you can stay within 10 kilometers whilst doing quarter speed, then sure, why not? But not the easiest ships to use here, I know. See if we can get the Kabuki down. Okay, so we neutralised the coastal batteries on the third island. That's been completed now. Okay, that's good. Still having to ensure that enemy destroyers don't come within 3 kilometers of the San Diego. And we also need to coordinate fleet support for a certain number of times. So we've all used our fleet support button 16 times. You get more of those as the mission goes on. So we need to use those again. As soon as it comes off cooldown, I'm going to pop it again. There's a Nagato over there. Okay. And the San Diego now needs to hold position at the island that's just appeared at B7. You can see the little marker on the island at B7. The Georgia's closest to it on the mini-map. Check the mini-map, B7, B8, that area. There's a little island with like a diamond shape with a triangle in the middle of it. And the Georgia's already there. San Diego's heading that way. And we need to cap that objective. Okay. Now, it's funny that I should say, this is what happens when you get isolated. I'm just looking after the Lexington's interest, because if they weren't shooting at me, they would be shooting at the Lexington. The Tennessee's still falling further and further behind, which is not great, but he's on full health. He's doing better than I am right now. I'm in a kind of crossfire right now between the AOBAs and the should get the Aoga down with those. Yeah. Okay, and moving on to the blockades. Hopefully going to get some nice citadels on him. Let's give it a go. So firing AP into his side. And that should do it. Yeah, team got him. Excellent. Right, moving back into the objective. I can use my speed boost to get back into the match. I'm now sitting at the rear gunner's position. Tennessee is moving up. Lexington's been hit pretty hard. Like I knew she would, but I absorbed most of the stuff for her, so she didn't have to. And now we're going to take out the Kagero. I was getting shot at by about everything on the screen. Now, unfortunately for me, the Mizashi, and this ship always spawns on in this operation around the 9-10 minute mark, has come on from the right corner, bottom right corner. She's at F9 right now. She can come on from any side of the map, so it's a bit unfortunate she came around my side because she's now going to focus me over the Tennessee. There you go, she just fired at me there. I took 5k damage. Ow. So I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Mazashi's got me in his sights. But if we get this objective, we basically win the operation. This is the last objective that you have to capture. Top left corner, capture the key area to eliminate all enemy forces. And ensure enemy destroyers keep a distance of 3 kilometers. We managed to do that so far, and we just need to destroy one more enemy warship for the destroy enemy warships objective. Oh boy, and my health is super low. We have managed to use the repair parties, that icon at the bottom there. Mine are all used up, but we managed to get 25 off before the timer ran out, so we'll get a star for that. And right, we got the Fuso, good. So we've completed destroy enemy warships. Okay, I feel like my work here is done. I can die now with a smile on my face. Good damage. Bayard is a top pick because she's tier 8. You can play up to tier 9 in this mission. You've got tier 8, tier 9 picks. If you're lower tier, you will earn more credits and more XP if you can do a tier 9 performance. And those numbers tell me that I've done quite well, even though I did unfortunately get sunk. But I do believe the guys have got the objective. And if we look, it says capture the key area to eliminate all enemy forces and ensure enemy destroyers keep distance from San Diego. Okay, so we're very close to capping. Very close to capping indeed. As soon as we get the cap, there'll be a short brief break and then we win. You don't have to sink the Mizashi, it's just a bonus if you do. Okay. It's more important to keep destroyers away from the San Diego and capture the key area, which we just did. That's great, that's good. And let's see, yeah, there it is. And victory follows very shortly after, okay. So that should be a 5-star run. Let's see how we did. Yep, there you go. Ensure at least one allied ship remains within 6 kilometers of San Diego until 2 islands are secured. Destroy enemy warships. Ensure your team's coordinated fleet support a certain number of times. So you've got to use the coordinated fleet support button. That's button number 9. Well, at the bottom, number 9. 25 times you've got to use that. So guys, don't forget to hit the heal button that the operation gives you, that special button on your bottom bar. Then destroy the island's coastal battery before time runs out and ensure enemy destroyers keep their distance from the San Diego. Okay, and then what we got after that, we close. Right, okay, so we made 500,000 credits. We got 200,000 damage down. We're top of the team. That was a pretty successful run, and I'm pretty happy with that. Not bad. So I'll probably be using the Bayard for the rest of these operations until I've ground her out, and then I'll probably switch to a destroyer or a battleship. And you can play French destroyers in this mission, amusingly enough, and you know how much I love French destroyers, so I may pop a video up on that when I get a chance. But there you go. That's the break of the credits. Let's have a quick look at the build. Okay, so the build on the Bayard, that's what I was using for this operation. And let's have a quick look at the equipment. And that's the equipment I ran. Okay. Well, I hope this guide has been enlightening for you and has helped you to get this operation done. And if so, don't forget to like and subscribe. Your support matters. Thank you.